So, we have a Threadcast going on. It is not at the top of the page. Do not click on my cat icon at the top of the page. That takes you to the technology Threadcast. The other Threadcast has not received the necessary 15 comments to appear at the top of the page. The Lions Den Threadcast. So, if you would get in there and drop some comments, drop some questions, and let's see if we can get that to the top of the page. One of the things that I did drop in there is a thread that might possibly put of a short he did. And this is a screenshot video of him using a DeepSeek rival, if you will. And this is something that I forwarded to him. I came across it, and being the type of guy he is, he decided to test it out. This is the type of stuff that really interests him, and he has the capability, so he took it for a test run and then gave a screenshot of what he did. What is interesting about this, and I put it in the headline of the Threadcast, is this kind of leads into the idea of our digital lives, our digital profiles, our digital twin. And we've talked about data a great deal. We've always taken it from the perspective of feeding the AI, setting up the vector database, letting the vector database give it enough to chew on to set up its correlations and connections, which of course will help when Leo AI goes live. And that's what Leo AI is really a smaller model. It has its base model. It starts at that point, and then it feeds in all of the Hive data that it has access to, both in the training and then in the functioning of the services, because it taps into the secondary database, call it a file system if you want, of all the data that we put in since the training date, which I don't know exactly when that was, but it was some time last quarter. So every thread, every post, every comment that's been put in over the last few months, the system will be able to access. And this is very important. So now, getting on to my possiblies video, and as I said, it's in the Threadcast if you want to click on it. It's only about a minute long video. He set up the model on his computer, and he queried about my account. What can you tell me about the account of Taskmaster 4450? And it came back and it said, search 3 sites, begin of thought, and then it goes through and it checked a bunch of different things, Ecency, Hotblog. It came back with accurate stuff, but really not stuff that's it started talking about, basic things that I've done and some of the things that pertain to my account being on the Hive blockchain. Okay, it didn't give any information out of that source. Talks about my followers, my Hive power, yada, yada, yada. Pretty much informative stuff. So if you want a ride, you go to your Uber app. If you're going on vacation, you need a place to stay, you go to your Airbnb. They have zero relation to each other. And when you get to the city where you have the Airbnb, if you want to get there, then you go to your Uber app and you get an Uber to your Airbnb. But none of that's together. None of that works together. They're all separate. But what if you had that all in one platform? All on one network? See, this is what these platforms, this is what blockchain can do. Because don't forget, you got uniform payment systems. You got uniform login. You got uniform interaction. You got uniform followers. You got uniform information. You don't have to go to a variety of places to get the information. So you have an account on Hive, that post, you follow that account, you get that account's post on Hive. If you follow another account, you get the same, you get information from that account. Same place, same front end. You can view it through InLeo or a variety of other front ends. My point being, what happens when you have agents that are built on InLeo that provide some of these services? So somebody takes the time to build a particular agent to provide a service. Okay, it's there. Might possibly does it. Boom, it's there. What happens next? Somebody else builds another service. Third person builds a third service. Might possibly builds a fourth service. Second service for him, but a fourth service. But they're all tied in together. They're all on the same platform. And you're providing these services to your followers who are all part of the same community. Now, you may not be providing it to everybody who's on the network. Just like you write an article and not everybody reads it because not everybody's following you. You post a thread, not everybody sees it. Part of that is the ability to search and stuff like that. So even within the platform, you have different people who are following you. But see, what happens is you now have an economy based upon your following and who you're following and the interaction between them. And we see that a little bit with articles. We see that typically you follow one person, they're following you back. And I'm not necessarily saying, follow me, I'll follow you. But that just happens naturally. Cal follows me, I follow Cal. So I see his posts, he sees my posts. I followed him years ago. So now if you take that beyond just social media and just articles and posting, but take that beyond into the economic realm, into services realm, human or AI. Ahmed said, so if I said Ahmed Manga Zap is not me, I might be able to confuse the AI into separating my profiles. Yeah, again, when you look at AI training, when you look at these models, recurrence is, and not recurrence like recurrent training, but recurrence in the idea of the more often something is stated, the more weight it is given. So any of us can try to mislead AI. Any of us can try to mislead Llama or Grok or any of them by posting something that is absolutely untrue. So if we sit here and we say, Kamala Harris is the president of the United States. I could write that. Anybody could write that. Now, obviously, it's not true. And the AI that up and take it as a fact until it started to look and link up President Kamala Harris, election, United States, Oval Office, all these things start to link together and it comes up and says, wait a second, okay, there's 1,000 times where it say Kamala Harris is President of the United States, but then I got these 52 billion that says it's Donald Trump. So where does the model weight? Obviously it weights to Donald Trump and not to Harris in that instance. So it's like, okay. Now, if Ahmed started pumping some coin to me, well, I have a little knowledge in that, and it's like, okay, I'm not going to buy his bullshit on that. I'm certainly not going to buy the bullshit from a Kardashian or from any of these clowns. Elon Musk. Well, all these people suing Elon Musk because he pumped Doge. It's like you're buying a coin because Elon Musk said to? Are you a moron? He's manipulating the market. Well, he's just tweeting out about Doge. He's trolling. I mean, if you like Doge, fine. I mean, I'm not one to say it's a great coin or not a great coin, but I'm certainly not buying it based upon or Doge is the great thing he's ever seen. Do your own due diligence. Hell, Jess. Kim Kardashian could at least get some dash through in Leo. Hell, Jess. Good job. Very witty and creative. Drafts. I noticed some interesting stuff while testing AI models with some tricky historic questions. Some answers are painfully wrong. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's you're not going to get perfection out of these things. See, here's one view I have with this. People, I think, have unrealistic expectations. When you ask somebody a question, let's say what Drax is talking about, a historic question, do you get an accurate answer? Either a truth that the person says the first president of the United States was George Washington. You're getting a lie, but they're trying to pass off as the truth, where they're throwing a name and acting like they know, but they have no clue. You get somebody who doesn't have the greatest of memory regarding it, and so they're telling you something they think they know, but they don't really know, but they think they do. And they may be partially correct, but they might not be, because they're confusing things